Pinche mosca. Yo, hello, hello, hello. We're live. RIP Kingface. Let me get this link. How do I invite? Invite. Let's see. Aged. We're going to go on and talk because there's some people who want to come on and talk about Kingface and his passing. I'm just getting this link so that y'all can jump on in. I'm gonna have Energy Day Moon, my sister, my artist, Energy Day Moon, come up first. There's the link to the StreamYard. Here we go. Here we go. Copied. All right, let's see. It's probably not it. Okay, there we go. Let me make this bigger. I'm still learning StreamYard, so I apologize for my ignorance on StreamYard. I'm just barely learning the platform. So welcome, welcome, welcome. There's the StreamYard link. Let's see. Waiting for Energy Day Moon to come on up. Let me see if we could put a banner up here. All right. We're going to do it this way. Actually, we'll just do it this way because I'm not going to have Day Moon on. But if you guys want to join and come on and talk about what's going on, because I know there's a lot of things that are being said, and I'm not an expert. I don't know details of anything that happened. I just know that Kingface was always a nice individual to me, very respectful, very friendly, and I appreciated him. You know, he taught me a lot, and like I said, he was nothing but respectful to me. So hearing the news of his passing today was a serious gut punch. You know, I cried for over an hour today. It was just really, really heartbreaking. And it's also really nice to see all of the love and support and outpour, just, you know, in remembrance of Kingface. So we're going to talk about it though, because there's a lot of things that are being said, comments that are being made by people who didn't know him. And only heard of the rumors that have been going around. And that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the, not the rumors, but we want to talk about the words that other human beings are choosing to use during this time. You know, it's really not, it's really sad. It really is. It's heartbreaking. So I'm just waiting for Energy Day Moon to come on up, because we've been sitting, you know, in the background talking to each other about this. And she's like, we need to talk about this, because she's very passionate about, hey, Lucky. There we go. Energy Day Moon is coming up. Let me get you in here, baby girl. Here we go. Energy Day Moon. Welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to have you on here. First of all, I want to congratulate you on a multitude of things, but the biggest one right now is for winning the International Rising Star Award over on Global Family TV.
Thank you. I was shocked, and that's quite an accomplishment for us, for our brand, what we're trying to do. And I'm going to continue to work hard. You know, you've always had faith in me and encouraged and pushed me. And honestly, it's just a major honor for somebody to even recognize your work. So I really can't thank them enough. They literally poked the beast. They're
Yeah,
actually having another contest, and I'm joining it. I meant to send you that, but it's
I
called the
watched,
Spitfire contest.
I watched it. I'm so excited for that. I'm excited for that because I want to enter also.
And I like what you were saying. I mean, it's I'm doing good now, but initially when I first heard the news about King Face passing, obviously I was a little bit shook up.
Yeah,
And I think it's odd what is going on right now when you just look at the mix of emotions and what's being said about him online,
hmm,
because he has passed away. And essentially, a lot of people are talking shit to a dead man. And I really don't understand that mentality. I understand that there's a lot of rumors and controversy that are surrounding him, his lifestyle, or what may have transpired. However, there's always multiple sides to the story. He never got a chance to tell his side of the story. But
correct.
most importantly, I think that it's important for us to remember that as adults, we all have to have some culpability. And so these people who were possibly engaged in whatever behavior that could have led to these consequences that everyone is now dealing with have to understand that there was a part that you played in that. As women, we don't often take enough responsibility for the things that we do and the choices that we make. I encourage everyone, if you have to have, sex, make sure that it's going to be protected. But I'm not going to sit here and judge somebody in their entire life based upon a mistake that I definitely don't agree with. But that situation does not define him entirely as a person or as a man. It speaks to a moral character. I don't believe that if it is true that that was the right thing to do. But as a grown woman, I know that if I meet someone and they want to have unprotected sex with me, that there are steps that I could go to make sure that I am protected as well as anybody else that I'm with. I'm just encouraging anyone who's may have been in this situation to make sure you get yourself tested and make sure that you're always having protected sex. Take care of yourself and your vessel. You only have one.
Correct. And what I wanted to say is there are rumors surrounding, what was going on with him medically. And by no means are we saying that we believe these rumors because we don't know.
Right,
We're not doctors. We didn't have his medical records. We weren't with him every single day to know the type of life that he truly lived.
right.
All
This
we
is
are
all allegedly.
correct. It's all allegedly, and it has nothing to do with the fact that now this man is dead, and there are people who are dragging his name,
Right,
and he's no longer here to be able to defend himself, and that's very.
right,
And I think when we were on the phone earlier, you said a lot of things that the large majority of these people that are saying such things are probably people like of faith, you know what I'm saying, of some kind of religion, that have deep religious ties to where how could you say something if you're so loving and forgiving, how can you sit here and speak on
right.
dead man's name?
It's unfortunate. A lot of people did not. Oh, shout out to Lucky. That's my boy. He's in the chat. And if you guys have a chance, go check his page out. Go subscribe to him. He's a real cool dude. But a lot of people didn't like his political views. They didn't like his approach. They didn't like how he went about delivering his message. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not here to judge that or anyone who may have had a problem with him. I personally didn't have a problem with, you know, what he supported or what he stood for. I think that as, especially as people of color, but Black people, we have to learn that we have differences, but we can still get along. Whether I'm a Democrat and you're a Republican, I'm a Muslim and you're a Christian, that
Mm.
should not tear us apart from being able to support each other respectfully. Now, I guess a lot of people like to say, you know, we don't support each other. Um, Again, it's a lot of controversy surrounding this, but you know, he's so much more than just, you know, being a Trump supporter. He was a married. He, you know, and that's another thing that I was saying about these allegations. A lot of these women knew he was married, so there was a chance he was sleeping with at least one other woman unprotected, and they still chose to be with him. Like, to me, you got to make it make sense. You know,
Take a,
I haven't been. I'm sorry, sweetie. Go ahead.
take accountability.
Yeah. I haven't seen all of his interviews, but I heard that they were quite controversial. The ones that
Mhm.
I seen that I liked. And shout out to that who did that link that you sent me on Instagram?
Queen's Flip.
Queen's Flip. Yo,
Mhm.
that was a beautiful thing with the music and everything else. I thought that was really elegant how he did that, but I think that we should have some compassion and some empathy. And you know, that that particular subject is really hard for a lot of people. And a lot of people don't wouldn't want to come forward and say, yo, I have that. I could understand that part. Do I agree with if it's alleged and it's true, hiding it? No. But people can't put themselves in that same position when more than likely, if you're an adult at some point in your life, you've had unprotected sex and anybody could be put in them shoes. And, you know, you have to kind of be careful, you know, just out there constantly talking negativity, speaking negativity. It's really sad when you see stuff like this. You know what I mean? The whole situation is ugly, but you don't have to make it uglier. You could just give your
Right.
condolences and at least let the man get in the ground.
Right. Absolutely. And I think it's I think a big part of it is that that there's so much more education that needs to be done. Obviously, because if we're still in this place talking about these types of things and it's still,
Right.
there still needs that means that our work is not done. So even with the whole C-19 thing coming about, people were quick to shun those who tested positive for C-19.
Exactly. I was just about to come to that. Look at how people are dragging even the young woman who came forward and still said that she loved him after she said that he knowingly infected her with HIV.
Mhm.
Allegedly. That's her story right now. It hasn't been confirmed. So I'm going to say allegedly because, again, right now it's rumored that he's passed away of kidney infection, which, by the way, is a huge complication from complications with HIV and AIDS. But the problem is that it's a stigma where people don't even want to admit it because people are childish and they know that they're going to be shunned and outcast and looked at in a light that is not favorable. Let's just admit it. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it's right. I think it's very immature, actually.
Mhm.
But it's really sad, and it's that particular reason that people aren't as forthcoming as they should be.
Correct.
And that's no excuse. Again, I'm not making excuses for that behavior
Mhm.
whatsoever if it's
No,
true at
no,
all.
none at all. It just shows how much growth we as a society still need to go through, because it's just really unfortunate. Like I said, even with the whole C-19 thing, it's ridiculous because you can get that from somebody sneezing on you. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't
Right.
none the wiser, or sneezing like just 1 minute before you walked into their airspace. So it's bad. We have a lot of educating to do.
We do. We do. You know, we have to learn to take away stigmas. And it's not even just with things like STDs, which, you know, in a particular area that I live in, I know that it's pretty out of control between a certain age group, which is like, I believe, 16 to 24,
Right.
especially that particular disease, but also mental health, which
Yes.
contribute to may have contributed as to why he didn't want to be forthcoming about this. You know, this is traumatic. This is something that is not talked about. There's a lot of promiscuity that goes on in underdeveloped and poor neighborhoods. And it's not that I don't like, you know, the whole song WAP in that culture. The thing I don't like about it is that women are not taking responsibility. So, okay, you do have the right to do with your body what you want. I am not pro-choice. I believe that we take these nice names for murder and we call it abortion. I'm not judging women who do that. It's your decision, but you're going to have to deal with the mental consequences that come with that, as well as the consequences that may come with that to your body. My point in saying that is when we already have this type of thing running rampant in these neighborhoods, why are we promoting this type of music, which only further makes it something to seem like it's normal?
Encourages that as normal.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
So in my music, because you know I write music,
Yes.
and I've been writing music for a very long time. And there was a point where I stopped because I didn't know if I wanted to deal with the responsibility of influencing people and what I wanted to rap about. And there's a way in which you could do it where, you know, we have daughters. We're women. We
Yes.
have to teach our daughters to be responsible. Nobody wants to take responsibility, especially us. We always get a pass. You know what I mean? We're just a poor woman and we don't know better. No, we do know better. We all take that class. You know what I mean? And we have to be responsible. And being responsible means if you're going to have unprotected sex, you know what comes with that? If you are going to have sex, use birth control. That's better than having to abort a fetus or, excuse me, murder a baby. We can't even say that what it is. We have to call it something different because that in our mind lets us justify the behavior. I'm not even here to judge because I don't believe in good and evil. I don't believe in those concepts. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not a Christian. And so when people go, are you not a Christian? They want to know if I worship the devil. First of all, it's none of your business, but I don't worship anything. I'm past that stage in my life. I get that source isn't good or bad. It's both. And it's having a balance. So if you want the right to do with your own body what you want, with that comes great responsibility. Let's not sugarcoat none of this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And I was going to ask you, because we have not got into this subject because you said that you're not pro-choice. What do you feel in the situation? And I know it's off subject, but if there is an underage girl, you know, teenage girl who was raped and she became pregnant, what do you think about what her situation, what they should do in that situation?
Okay, so what I think in that situation is we have programs to where, you know, unless it's not going to put her body in harm, because I see it like this. Why does the unborn fetus get the death sentence and the rapist doesn't? We will, you know what I mean? So that's the part that I have a hard time compromising with. Back in the day, they would send her to a school and she would have that baby and that baby would be given up for adoption or she would choose to keep it. That baby is a byproduct of something very, very ugly. I have never been in those shoes, nor am I judging them if they don't decide to keep the baby. You know, I'm not one of those people. In my opinion, it comes with a lot of mental anguish that people might not be privy to. You know what I mean? And everybody deserves a chance. But the thing I have a problem with is that the rapist gets a couple of years in jail and a sex offender label, but this innocent fetus gets to be aborted. I have a problem with that.
Right. And
I sympathize with her. You know, I've never been in those shoes, so I really can't say, but that's how I feel, and I'm just being honest.
No, that's fine. Then this is what we're here to do, is to open discussion, because these are difficult discussions that a lot of people don't want to have. Just like the whole, you know, sexually transmitted diseases. Those are discussions that is still quote unquote taboo, and it shouldn't be. So we have to be able to be comfortable enough to openly communicate without fear of judgment, and also with an openness to be able to receive somebody's point of view without having to bash them personally.
I think the most important lesson that we can learn for somebody who was a star in his own right and had such a huge impact and has such a big following and was on his way, is that there are probably 1,000 king faces out there, men and women, doing the same thing. So it's important that we learn about these things, how they happen, how they can be prevented, how we can prevent them in our neighborhoods, how we need to stop falling for this dumbass thought culture. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even sexy anymore. People are desensitized to seeing naked women. And it's like, I have the right, but then if you get raped, like it's honestly, it's psychological warfare. I'm never going to promote that shit.
Right. Back in the 90s, it was the worst thing to be called a hoe or a whore or a
right. Right. And somehow the culture has now made it popular. And see, this is where you need to be an individual and say, you know what, that's not cool. To the point where seeing a naked woman don't even get men erections anymore because they becoming so desensitized to it. It is absolutely ridiculous, and it's sickening, and it's nauseating. And I'm not a hater. I got a badass body, but I also like to have the sexiness where there's something kept to the imagination, because nothing's more sexier than that.
Absolutely. Just keeping it classy.
Yeah.
Keeping it classy all the way. Yes, I agree 100%. But
R.I.P. King Face.
R.I.P. King Face.
We love you.
King Face, we love you. Thank you so much for being such an amazing person to me and friend to me always. You really touched my heart, dude. You know what I'm saying? And
he had a wonderful, beautiful smile.
Yeah, he did. And I don't have my camera on right now. Like, I have just your picture up right now. But I'm getting choked up here. He was a very good person to me, and I took this very hard. It was very hard news. It was very hard news to hear that he's been sick and hospitalized since the beginning of July. And a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
This has been going on.
No, they don't. And I actually found out. I'm sorry, Mama.
No, that's okay. He's just been sick for a very long time.
He fought a very hard fight. And if these allegations were true, the sad part about it is that his death could have easily been prevented by just simply taking medication. But I knew he had been in a coma for about 2 months now. And I kept hoping and was waiting to hear the news that he had came out of his coma. And, it was hard for a while today when I first, heard that news. He was a young man. He was only 38 years old.
We were just talking about
38.
We were just talking about him the past week, you and I.
Yeah, we were. It's just crazy, and so with that being said as well, I want to look right now just for the inspiration we can pull from this instead of at the negativity. Like, a lot of people didn't like what he did, but he was brilliantly marketing himself with the Trump campaign to push his music and push everything else. And so, just inspire to chase your dreams, whatever your dreams may be, and try to go about it in the right way, and go about it in a way that you will respect others and yourself.
He was just recently interviewed by Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's like he knew where he was going, where he wanted to go, and where he was taking things. And to be able to be up there with somebody of the likes of Candace Owens, you know what I'm saying, and having her interview him, you know what I'm saying, like he was really making major moves, in the political field. Right.
A lot of people really don't understand a lot about the Republican Party, which was actually the first party for African Americans. It was the Democrats who actually terrorized and burned crosses back in the day. Now, eventually, over the years, this party has transformed, but the Democratic Party keeps a lot of people held down for the simple fact that they actually give you so many resources to the point where you become dependent on somebody else outside of yourself. And there
Right.
are literally families and families of generations. If you look at a lot of democratic areas, now what my political standpoint on is, I'm not even going to answer. I just want what's best for people. I don't
Right.
care. You know what I mean? I want what's best for people and what would make sense.
And how
And
we can get there
so there's a
respectfully.
lot of
How we can get there respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Without tearing each
right.
other down. This whole crab in the
Exactly.
bucket is a bunch of, it's old. Just like thought, like all this thought stuff, it's old.
Yes,
Stop the
King
crab.
Face passed at Drew.
Yes, King Face Pass.
Unfortunately, he
Yeah.
passed today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
It's
a
very
lot of
hard.
people are shocked.
I do appreciate and I'm loving all the positive comments and the well wishes and the prayers for him and his family and everybody who cared for him. You know what I'm saying? So, you guys are not
Right.
alone. We're here with you guys. You know what I'm saying? This is hard for a lot of people. He impacted a lot of people, whether they agreed with his political views or not, whether they agreed with his personal life decisions or not. It's still a loss nonetheless. He's still somebody's son. He's still somebody's
Right.
brother. He's still somebody's father. He's still somebody's husband. He's still somebody's friend. He's still somebody's probably godfather. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that he was to so many different people, and those are the things that we need to hold on to and appreciate about this person and learn from the mistakes and teach each other with love how to avoid those same mistakes.
Exactly. You know what's sickening about the whole situation, when you look at the state of where we are, even like you were just saying, how people are treated, quote, cruelly for just having hope. Like, we don't even have compassion for dead people anymore. Like, there's something wrong with that spiritually.
I don't know if you guys can.
This ain't about morals. This is about
You cut out for a quick. You cut out for a quick second.
I was just saying that don't have nothing to do with morals. You know what I'm saying? Or to me, that's a spirituality thing. How can you not have compassion for somebody who just passed away, regardless? But we can sit up there, especially in our community, the Black community, the African, the Native, whatever you want to call it, original. Me personally speaking, we have the highest number of abortions in the world, like 40 million. I'm not even making a joke about that. That's like the actual number. You know what I'm saying? So, when you get to a point, because that's not all rape, there's such a small percentage, going back to that, of those numbers that are actually rape victims. Like, this is just us being responsible. But we don't have no compassion for our own babies, let alone, people who are passing away from something. This is something that's probably touched everybody who's probably known somebody in their life who's gotten that unfortunate thing.
Right.
And this is all allegedly, again, because none of this has been proven.
Something as simple as chlamydia, even. You know what I'm saying? And chlamydia is now being normalized because, oh, hey, I could just go to the doctor and get a pill and it's done. No, you still need to be educated, because if you're still going out there and you're bringing back these sexually transmitted diseases, obviously you still need some education.
Right. And it's the whole thing. What they don't understand is that these diseases are mutating. There is a new strain of gonorrhea that is almost impossible to get rid of. So there is no simple thing as a simple STD. It's about getting to know who you're being with, and nobody has any patience. Like, you wait 90 days to become an actual employee at your job, but you wouldn't wait that to smash, because there's a new culture where these young people, you could give a guy your number before you get home, you get a text picture of his penis. Like, there's something wrong with this generation. I swear to God. Like, they screw and then they go out to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the young folks. That don't even have nothing to do with that. Take it back to when you get courted. You get to know the person. Like, find out their real name, their last name. You know what I'm saying? Their sexual history. I don't think people understand, when you're with someone, you're having sex with every person that person has been with, let alone sexually transmitted demons, because we don't even go into the fact that it's not just sex. You're sharing an aura. You're sharing energy. it's a
exchanging
portal.
energy.
It's
Yeah.
so much. Yeah, there is so much more to it than just it feels good.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people wonder why, because they, like, even last night as I was on live stream, somebody was talking to about coming out here for the private mansion party, the pool party that we're going to have out here next month, and was asking about a random hookup with a stranger. And I'm like, absolutely. First of all, I do not do that. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I know, dude, I am not willing to even cross energies. I am not willing to
Right.
allow
You're sharing in your aura. It's
to
so
cross
much more
into
than I think
mine.
people even understand.
Yes, because I don't need that static. I don't need
So,
the static of in that frequency. My frequency, the energy level that I am on is so clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. I have a clear audio of and visual of what's happening in my life. So if I add static, or quote unquote one night stand, or somebody in the mix like that, that's just going to cause static that is going to put me into, different kinds of energies and
right.
knock me off my game, and I'm not willing to do that.
Let me just say, and again, shout out to my boy Lucky. Again, y'all go check out his page. He makes some really dope cars. He makes the cars that you used to model for at the shows. He does that with his hands. He's super dope, super talented. But he just said that Faye said he never used condoms in the chat. And you know what I'm saying? Again, if Lucky heard it, the women had to hear it too. The chick had to hear it. You know what I'm saying? They still chose to be with him.
Right.
Like, protect yourself. Protect yourself. And these women, they don't want to take no responsibility for their actions. I'm not saying that they deserved it. I'm not judging them, but it's hard for everybody to take responsibilities. But if you're out there and you're having unprotected sex with people you don't really know, then you're taking a risk with yourself. You can't be like, this person gave it to me unknowingly. What happened was he didn't have it, and you believed it if you even asked at all. And what you could have done is said, if you want to be with me and not use protection, then we need to go to the doctors and we each get tested. And then we each get the results back. And if everything comes back okay, then we can do it. But nobody even has patience anymore. It's crazy.
They just want to wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
I don't know. I feel like it's the culture and what everything is being pushed out right now.
Mm-hmm.
What is cool to be. And, not having enough time to have that influence over your children and whatnot. Somebody was upset with me because I was like, I don't necessarily support that, but I feel like as a parent, we control what our kids listen to and what they watch. You can't put all of this shit on pop culture. And they were like, oh, at some point, the child grows up and goes off into the world. Yes, that's true. But you should have made enough impact on your child at that point to make the right decisions. And I know they're not going to always, but, it's like when I went out in the world, my mom's voice was still in my ear nagging me.
Right. Well, one like, there's a lot of rumors that I've heard, and I'm sure that a lot of people have heard, but one rumor that I did not hear, that I personally did not hear, is that he forced himself on anybody. So if that's the case, he never forced himself on anybody, then, like you said, these women need to take accountability for what also happened.
And then if we say something like that, they try to use reverse psychology to say that's victim bashing. No, that's not victim bashing. You know what I'm saying? That's taking a culpability. And that's the only way that we can stop these things from happening, by calling it out, so that girls coming behind them will know better. Will know not to go out and get intoxicated and make these mistakes. And if you go out, it's not even safe to go out with a fucking group of friends nowadays, because what do you really call friends? My mom used to tell me, you don't got no friends. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll leave your ass drunk at the club. Like, we've lived our life. We know what it is, Mai.
Mm-hmm. In a heartbeat.
Shout out to Mai-Ling, Pretty Flower. Shout out to Dragon's Lair.
I always took my friends with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I always made sure my friends were good. Like, that was my job, you know what I'm saying? And even still, I have to always make sure my people are good. So if you guys ever go anywhere with me, know that I'm gonna be watching your back just as much as I watch my own.
Right. So,
Yeah, this
just very sad. It's just a very sad situation. Everything that's happened. I really feel for his family, all the friends, everybody who loved him. And I really pity those who are taking this opportunity to, like I said, shit talk a dead man. I think that's kind of crazy. I've seen it happen over and over and over and over.
it's like it's like they get
But
some kind of, like, they get off on it, and it's a, that in itself is a disease. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting
yeah,
off on the misfortune and the deaths of others, then, like, you really need to look within yourself and find out what's going on with you, that this is the type of
right,
reaction you're having to somebody that you did not even know,
right.
and you don't even know if the
And
rumors are true. You know what I'm saying?
again,
Because, again,
right,
he's
I
not
think it's
to defend
right.
himself.
Well, supposedly what's coming out is that some people have proof and they're saying they were going to release it or whatever the case is. It hasn't been released yet. So again, I still say allegedly. This young woman was definitely with King Face. He bought her a car. She did the interview in the car he bought for her, and she said she was HIV positive. Some people actually had the nerve to say she was doing that for clout. I'm like, who would do that for clout? Like, literally saying you have something like that is for clout now. Like, people are just ignorant because, again, that's the mentality of not wanting to talk about it. They were
Right.
calling her a liar. That's her story. Even if he's a part of it, it's her story to tell. And if she says that she has this and she's brave enough to tell everyone, then I think you should at least respect that. Ask her to show her medical records, in which the person she was on the live with said he didn't have time for her to go get them and show them. Supposedly she's on Instagram. I never went to go try to find the page, but I think that, again, like you said before, it comes to the point where we just need to have these conversations. No matter, we can not like people all day. There's people that I don't like, but there's still shit I would not wish on my worst enemy, because as somebody who practices magic and as somebody who deals in energy, I just know that that's not the correct percentage level to work in. Motherfuckers who have done me wrong, I still wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah, the vibrational level is just so low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. You took what I was trying to express.
Mm-hmm. Yes, RIP is
Wrong with that.
Thank you. Yeah. Somebody just commented RIP. But yeah, it's just so sad, and I it's hard not to get choked up every time I want to speak, because
right,
again, he was such a great person to me. We've even been on live together. You know what I'm saying? Like publicly. Just chatting openly. He had no problem with talking to people and finding out about them and teaching them what he knows. Like, that's all I know from him is education and or trying to educate, or and being kind. You know what I'm saying? So it's just hard. It's hard.
People are more angry about what he's allegedly done than the people himself. Even after she said he did this to her, she said that she still loved him because he's the one who taught her strength. But the thing that really disgusted me, when I found out he was in a coma like 6 weeks ago, it was, someone was doing a podcast talking about these, they was calling them, what were they calling them? Something like the something niggas that cake for Trump, something like that. And I clicked on it, and in the comment section, it was people wishing death on him. And they also talked about this allegation. They were wishing death on him simply because he was a Republican. That is and maybe the way he delivered his message was not well received. Just like a Tommy Sotomayor's message may not be well received, but at the end of the day, if it's a valid point, it's a valid point. You might not like the delivery. You don't like the way that the shot feels. But if the shot is going to help you,
even you might not even like who the shot or who the truth is coming from, but you have to stop trying to deny the truth, no matter where it's coming from.
Right. Politics, why I always tell people when they go, are you a Democrat or you're a Republican? I say it really doesn't matter, because we're talking about two arms on the same body. That's why they got to come together to make a decision. I mean, this shit is absolutely ludicrous that they get us all riled up over things that only limit our power because it divides us when it comes to everything that's going on.
Yep. It's very divisive. It's very low vibrational, like we were saying, just a second ago. And it doesn't help us achieve anything except the same toxic cycle of being uneducated and going back and forth, wishing death upon people.
Right.
That's all that it brings about. It's just the same cycle over and over again. When are people going to get tired of slamming their own head against the wall, expecting the other person to get a headache?
Right. Right.
If you want something done,
and when are going to start truly having compassion and empathy? Like that's when you start to vibrate at a higher pace. You know what I mean? And so they walk around with these 10 commandments. They walk around with these moral standards and this turn the other cheek, and the motherfuckers ain't never turned a cheek in their goddamn life. And that's why they constantly suffer and wonder why they get no real satisfaction when it comes to true spirituality. And I'm not saying this with a grain of salt. I'm actually an ordained minister as well. Because when I dove into the community, I needed to be able to marry people who weren't necessarily a Christian. So by doing that, I had to take the test. I had to read the books. You know what I mean? I did my research, but, and I'm not judging them because I got married by actual Christian pastor. My parents were Christians and my godparents were Jehovah's Witnesses. I like to go into theology, period. I don't just pick and choose. It's all energy, just like seasonings. You can use a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know what I mean? But I've been off the horse ship. But I'm sending you a message.
I believe a lot of the everything is everything is brainwashed into us. So for even us to not be able to talk about sexual relations openly, you know what I'm saying, and have adult conversations about this. You know what I'm saying? Those are the old days. You know what I'm saying? That didn't get us anywhere. Let's talk about it. Yes, it was the old days to have a female be covered up, you know what I'm saying, and clothed. And now we're in the era of WAP, you know what I'm saying? But we have to take the things that are going to help elevate us and not keep us on those low vibrations.
So let me ask you something. Let me ask you, because you asked me the question about abortion, since we were talking about that and we are having this conversation. How do you feel about the women who just, like, I know multiple women who've had more than one abortion, and it was simply just because they had unprotected sex. And like, even if you don't use condoms, we know when our cycle is on. There are a few of us who have the period, where do you call it, where it's not like just on a normal count. I forgot the actual medical term for it, irregular period. But what do you feel about those women? Because those women are really the one. You could even go and get a Plan Damn B these days, right at the store with no prescription.
You mean the ones who use abortion as a method of birth control?
Right, because there's more of them than it is the scenario that you described. You know what I mean? Which that Absolutely. I have more empathy for, but it's more of that going on. This number should not be at this rate in 2020. We call ourselves civilized people. Why is there not something we can do to even prevent the pregnancy? Even now, if you make a mistake and you sleep with somebody, and the next day you woke up and you know that you can go get a Plan B pill before. You know what I'm saying? But they don't even do that.
And that's the thing. They know that they can go take this Plan B pill, but do they know all the chemicals that they're putting into their body and how it's going to affect them? You know what I'm saying? There's not enough talks. There's not enough communication about the things that we really do need to be communicating about. And I'm thankful that you were able to take the time today to come up and talk about this with me. And I want to go ahead and close out now. But I want to be able to come back and like this.
Yeah, I know you're going to come back, but before we go, we just wanted to talk about some upcoming projects. You guys all go subscribe to Dragon's Lair Entertainment. We have a video coming out Mai is really my label, but she's acting as management for me too. I know she probably over there bashing, and not only that, she's my sister. Shout out to Team Smoke. We're working on some projects. We're working on some originals right now. I won an award. I was shocked. Shout out to Global Family TV. Thank you for that. So it's been a whirlwind, and I also did an interview on Mastery Foolish's page. Go check that out as well. But we're working behind the scenes. Maya, I want to thank you. I love you so much. Since the day we met, you've always encouraged me, been a sister and friend. And working with you has been such a pleasure. Having everything that I need, if I need, whether it be financially, moral support, whatever it is, that's what I call like a real, not only sister and friend, but a label and somebody that I definitely would recommend, to anybody that you going after, because she go after who she want. Don't come to her. She ain't even gonna reply to you. But
I do
we're gonna take this shit all the way.
Yeah, I do reply.
We're gonna take it all the way.
Actually, to mostly everybody, I do reply, in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's
I was gonna say
or hey, keep going type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important. You never know. I don't ever want to be the person that's kill somebody else's dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me say that. Let me not say that. She'll get back to you when she can, because she's so super busy. If you guys don't know, go check her out on Crown TV. I mean, when I say this woman is a fucking hustler, she put Jamaicans to shame on 3 jobs, 4, 5, 6. For real.
Yeah,
go check out Mo.
And with 6 kids on my back doing it.
At that, when I seen that picture, I can't even believe it with your amazing body. #body goals. You know what I mean? That's another thing that keeps me busy. A lot of people don't understand. I got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. That is super exhausting in of itself. But I'm not complaining because it's an honor to be a mom. But I just wanted to say thank you again, everybody who may or may not know. Go check out everything, the Instagram, the Facebook. I'm working on reconstructing a new Facebook, and we got a lot of shit planned up. We're not going to stop. We're just going up and up and up.
Well, we're just getting started, baby. And you know what, Energy Day Moon, it's been a complete honor to even just know you. You know what I'm saying? Be like, aside from all the work, just you being able to connect with you and have the relationship that we do. Like, you truly are my sister. You are part of me. I am you. You are me. We are we. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like it's just since day one, you know what I'm saying? We just really connected, and I'm just very grateful for you, and thank you for trusting in me and believing in me to make all of these amazing things continue to happen.
Yeah, we are doing amazing things. For you to have done this and accomplished this in such a short period of time speaks volumes. For us to get off a major distribution deal from Keep Art, for me to win this award, for you to start your label, the branding, you're the first female battle league. Like, this is so amazing. You're doing your shit on Crown TV, and those are awesome. So, you know what I mean? I'm super proud of you, and we're gonna keep doing what we do. We're gonna let the haters hate while we celebrate.
That's a fact. And you know what? Speaking of the battle rap, I just got locked in with a major main event. It's going to be Danny Myers versus Mellow 15. So that's coming up this week on Friday on Dragon's Lair Entertainment. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I put the link in the chat. Friday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 4 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be Dragon's Lair Entertainment Battle Rap League Edition is dropping Mellow 15 versus Sasuke Fame. It's a 2-round battle. Make sure you guys tune in.
Sasuke Fame.
Shout out to Sasuke Fame. Shout out to Mellow 15. Shout out to Ant Team Smoke. All of Team Smoke. Everybody from Team Smoke. Team Smoke. Team Smoke. That's where I met Energy Day Moon. And you know, here we are. Some major things.
I know, right? Honestly, I owe Ant. If it wasn't for Ant, I wouldn't even started working again. And you were able to see my work there, and it was so well received by everybody, which really lit a fire. And again, behind the scenes, your encouragement. I just want to say before I go too, Lucky once again says, Base's wife is the only person that knows the truth. If she stays quiet, then maybe it's all true. And quite frankly, there's been so many women coming forward. I don't really know their marriage, but I know that if my husband did not have AIDS and there was this nasty rumor, allegation going on about him, I would make a public statement. And also I would probably sue for defamation, because he's not just somebody on the street. This could actually hurt his career. You got to prove damages. And I'm sure he could prove some damages, because I'm sure he might have lost, you know, if that was true, he's giving it out and people don't know about it, he's going to lose some sponsors, because nobody wants to be associated with people who's doing things like that. But I'm not here to demonize him or whatever the case is. That's not my job. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I'm looking at the whole of who he is. But I found it very suspect that his wife stayed silent. And there could be a lot of things going on there. But one thing I do know is that if it's true, it would almost to me be out of spite, because it's like, you cheated on me, and you know, it is what it is. These women deserve what they get. We know how women can be sometimes. And you know, that's just my personal opinion. Again, these are just allegations, but that is a known fact. I actually commented on the video before. Why is his wife not making a public statement? She has to see all this shit going on. And there's no way in hell I would let somebody defame my husband like that. You know, if they were saying that about him and it wasn't true, if he was in a coma, he can't speak for himself. We are two halves of a whole. I have to speak for him.
Well, she
at
was
the very least, I'm gonna say it's not true.
On live with Jo, and although she didn't speak, she gave him the she was there giving him the authority to be the spokesperson at that time. You know what I'm saying?
And did he say anything? He ain't say nothing that
I'm not. I don't remember. However, with his wife, you know what I'm saying? For me, whether she does it now or it takes her a year or even 2 years from now to make a statement and come out and discuss everything publicly, I think that is her right as a human being, you know. And
right.
Despite feeling the pressures of everybody expecting her to say something. She doesn't have, she doesn't even have,
yeah, I can hear that too. That's what the person actually responded to me. Right. The person that I've commented that to actually responded to me and said something of that nature. They actually just said, they said maybe she's too busy taking care of him right now and trying to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so I'm a fair person and I can see all sides of it. As somebody who does magic, I have to see every side of something. And again, magic is not what y'all think it is in 2020, but we're going to do another live on that another time. We just wanted to come on and show some respect and say the things that we did like about King Face. And we talked about the ugly rumors surrounding his life. But at the end of the day, it was a life. And there was a lot of beautiful moments to that life. And again, it's about compassion and empathy, not only for him, but for the people who this may have affected. And if this is true, everybody who's involved needs to tell their partners and just go and take care of themselves at this point. You can only move forward and really dwell in it.
Positively educate, and that's the main thing, is continuing like positively educating without judging. So if you guys can take anything away from this, you know, just take that, you know, try to sit and have conversation without judging the person and just look at everything really that's going on, because at the end of the day, none of us know specifically what was going on. We weren't there. We don't have his medical records. And for me personally, I don't even care to see his medical records. It has nothing to do with the type of person he was to me. And, but there is a lot of education that still needs to be had, and I'm willing to have those conversations. So if those papers do come about, and we're able to, you know, speak about them in an adult manner, then, you know, I'm absolutely always willing to have anybody on to come and talk about that. You know, Day Moon, I love you, sis. Thank you so much for
you too,
for encouraging me to come on. You know, despite the heartbreak that I was, you know, I've been sitting here, you know, most of the day in now. You know,
supposed to be celebrating his life now, so I'm glad that you at least seem in okay spirits. You know, you had a couple crack ups, but you're gonna be okay, mama. We got a super soldier. We got a super soldier now working for us esoterically now. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
There is no life without death. So it's all a part of a beautiful thing that, you know, we still just don't know much about. It's something that's scary and it's hard because we all never been there till you go there.
Right. And it can happen to any one of us. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know. Like it, and not just with with what he's rumored to have had. You know what I'm saying? Death is inevitable.
Right.
Death happens to all of us. No matter how we die, we're all going to die.
Right. There's too much stigma around everything, whether it's, again, sexual transmitted diseases, mental health, or drug use. In lower income neighborhoods, the shit is ridiculous. You know, we make fun of fiends when honestly, fiends are some of the most brilliant people who are dealing with traumatic issues, and they started drugs to numb that pain, and then they became addicted and it spirals out of control. Still no excuse because you choose to be in that vibration, but we can address that on another live. I appreciate everybody who stuck around to the end, and everyone who's going to watch this, please hit the button, subscribe to Driller Entertainment. Look out for the video. We dropping this soon.
We coming, baby. We hitting them hard from all angles. We got Smoked Out 11 coming out. We got Smoke Sessions also coming out with Ant Team Smoke. So first, it's going to be Ant Teams. Wait, who's going first? Ant, who's going first? I think I go first, and then Ant drops his, and then it's your video, and then it's Smoked Out 11. So you guys are going to be filled with lots of content, lots of amazing content, lots of amazing music, other artists. You know, make sure you guys are subscribed, tuned in to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We're going to go ahead and close this out. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. You know, we check the comments frequently, but if it takes us a couple of days, please forgive us because we are very, very busy at this time. But thank you guys for coming. Have an amazing rest of the day, and just educate yourselves. And if you have children, educate them. Do the best you can to educate everybody that you love. All right, Daymoon, thank you.
Children. Right.
All right, Daymoon, I'm going to close out
here.
All
right, honey. All right, bye.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for chatting with us.
Bye, honey.
Bye.